We're here to idea you, to fire up your curiosity and connect you with the people and ideas that shape our world. Watch, listen, understand, connect, and create. Let's move the human story forward together.
Hello and welcome to The Poetry of Science, a podcast which provides insight into new scientific research via the medium of poetry. I'm your host, Dr. Sam Illingworth, and each week I'll be introducing you to some of the latest scientific findings and sharing a selection of science-themed poetry. After all, we could all do with a little bit more poetry in our lives. In this episode, I'll be exploring new research which has used Cold War spy satellite imagery to reveal ancient Roman forts. In the shadow of the crescent's fertile arc, where ancient stones rest deep within the earth, Roman hands once marked their land with spade, with sweat, with blood. Lonely island forts stood brooding in a sea of rolling dunes and lifeless lakes. The wind's haunting cry echoed deep as walls rose high, carving their fate in the shifting dust of fading mounds. Silent sentinels scanned the land, unearthing relics buried beneath history's vast expanse. Spectral rays pierced the desert's timeless shroud, revealing ancient walls, majestic fortresses, and tales of lives once loud. Ghostly remnants teeming with legions, now mere whispers on the wind-sculpted terrain, lost in the endless dance of time's unceasing sands. This poem is inspired by recent research published in the journal Antiquity, which has mapped ancient Roman forts across the northern Fertile Crescent using declassified satellite imagery. 2,000 years ago, forts were erected by the Roman Empire across the northern Fertile Crescent, stretching from present-day western Syria to northwestern Iraq. In the 1920s, Father Antoine Poidebard catalogued 116 forts in the region, undertaking one of the world's inaugural aerial surveys with a World War I-era biplane. Poidebard noticed that these forts were built from north to south, delineating the eastern frontier of the Roman Empire. In this new study, researchers used declassified satellite imagery from the CORONA and HEXAGON spy satellites collected between 1960 and 1986. These images, part of the Corona Atlas project, were refined for accuracy, and by examining a 300,000 square kilometre area of the northern Fertile Crescent, the team mapped 4,500 known sites and identified an additional 10,000 ones. Among these, they pinpointed 38 of Poidebard's original 116 forts and discovered 396 new ones in the same region. Some of these forts had variations in design, including unique interior structures and those built around a mounded citadel. The findings significantly expand our understanding of the region's historical landscape, challenging previous notions about the purpose and distribution of these forts, and offering a broader view of the Roman Empire's influence and infrastructure in this region. Now that you've heard the science, let me read the poem to you again. In the shadow of the crescent's fertile arc, where ancient stones rest deep within the earth, Roman hands once marked their land with spade, with sweat, with blood. Lonely island forts stood brooding in a sea of rolling dunes and lifeless lakes. The wind's haunting cry echoed deep as walls rose high, carving their fate in the shifting dust of fading mounds. Silent sentinels scanned the land, unearthing relics buried beneath history's vast expanse. Spectral rays pierced the desert's timeless shroud, revealing ancient walls, majestic fortresses, and tales of lives once loud. Ghostly remnants, teeming with legions, now mere whispers on the wind-sculpted terrain, lost in the endless dance of time's unceasing sands. this section of the podcast, I like to share a poem written by another poet on a topic related to the science that has been discussed so far. In this episode, I'll be reading Searching for Satellites by Roberto Harrison. Poet Roberto Harrison was born in Oregon to Panamanian parents. His family moved to Panama when he was a year old, then to Delaware in 1969. Harrison studied mathematics and computer science as an undergraduate. After a year of graduate mathematics at Indiana University in Bloomington, he travelled in the US, Europe and North Africa. His poetry collections include Os, Counter Demons, Bicycle, Culebra, Vidge of the World, Yavisa and numerous chapbooks. He also edited the journal Crayon with Andrew Levy from 1997 to 2008 and edits the Bronze School Press chapbook series. In 2008, his drawings and journal entries were featured in Ineffable Isthmus. Harrison is the 2017 to 2019 Milwaukee Poet Laureate, where he lives with his wife, the poet Brenda Cardenas. Searching for Satellites by Roberto Harrison. The news is released for the secret of worlds. I reach the end of my laughter and breathe to the night sky. A periodically interrupted song to reach the forest of my refuge, here where the lights are, where one dissolves and appears, to see the hidden files of your mind and listen as I cross the road to find the fox of the funeral home's bewildering delight, where there is laughter, marked by a mysterious blinking light that the occluded erase the sun with, and I've lost my heart for the present moment, as I fear it is one more day to see others walk in the dark mourning of impostors and timeless life. I say farewell to you, my love, as I enter the darkness to be with you in our morning kisses, and see that we shall never part, your heart, as the sea was parted, as the world collapses, and we say yes to the fearsome light. Thank you for listening to The Poetry of Science.
Thank you very much for being with us for this episode of the ideaXme Show. ideaXme is a global platform. Our mission is to move the human story forward by sharing knowledge of the future. You can find us on all major audio networks at www.radioideaXme.com, on YouTube and Vimeo. Please subscribe.